Thank you. You hear a lot of talk these days about our living in a sick society. Well, I happen to believe that kind of blanket condemnation is grossly unfair. Still, you do stop and wonder why our hospitals are full to overflowing with an unconscionable number of sick people. Through modern medical science, we've come to understand that there's a strong link between physical sickness and mental attitudes. Studies show that people who harbor sick thoughts are the most likely to find themselves hospitalized. Very often, doctors find themselves at a loss to cure a patient of a serious illness. When this happens, they usually suggest that the patient consult a psychiatrist to see if there isn't something unhealthy going on in the person's mind that's doing the physical damage. One of the most common culprits these head doctors unearth is plain old resentment. Call it bitterness or spite or wrath, what you will. It can lay you as low as any crawly microbe can. In my office, right on top of my desk, you'll find a little toy coal bucket. I keep that little coal bucket around to remind me of one of the most effective secrets to good health that I know of. I'd like to tell you the story behind that coal bucket after this word. I once visited a sick friend in the hospital. Next to her bed was that coal bucket I mentioned. "I'm already getting better," she said. "It's my coal bucket that's doing it." It turned out that some time back she perceived that black thoughts were devastating her body. And she saw those thoughts like ugly black lumps of coal. So whenever a black thought came to her, she'd pick up a piece of coal from the bucket and throw it into the garbage can, and along with it, the sick thought. "You have no idea," she said, "how much this silly little coal bucket has had to do with my recovery." Well, it wasn't long before she left that hospital, free of her resentments and free of her illness. And bless her soul, she gave me that little coal bucket as a present. Bernard Baruch was fond of saying that two things are bad for the heart: running upstairs and running down people. Smothered emotional reaction can break out in the form of actual pain or illness. Nothing cures this type of ailment like forgiveness. I'm not saying it's always easy to forego the temptation of resentment. It takes a big person to forgive. But the alternative, the desire to seek revenge, can destroy us. As Sir Francis Bacon once reflected, "He that studies revenge keeps his own wounds green, wounds which otherwise would heal and do well."